depict I am your Asar and you are my Aset. So I don't buy that shit right there. Okay, I don't. And this is the type of stuff I'm always in constant watch for because they'll put this right over your head. I didn't hear Marcus Garvey say that. Everything I heard Marcus Garvey say would have pointed to me that he would have never ever tried to woo any type of woman by making her feel like she was special, by giving her a personification of a European and overlooking the fact that this is a melanated woman that's conscious of self who will slap on you and spit on you if you don't tell her how beautiful her ebony spatial facial characteristics are. And I know that for a fact. So see, this is the stuff I'm always after and I'm always going to stamp out and need to stop.
August of 1914.
With the motto, one God, one aim, one destiny, the Universal Negro Improvement Association stressed race pride and sought backers for an industrial training school modeled on Booker T. Washington's Tuskegee Institute.
That's exactly what I know. That's exactly what I know.
Attracted a small, loyal following. But there was trouble.
Now, did you see how contradictory that was right there?
Garvey created enemies by
I can't believe it. I'm going to have to do it over so you can hear it.
He wouldn't stations, loading ships, and building the Panama Canal. They were the power behind the economy. But in their isolation from each other, black people were powerless. In 1914, he came upon the book that would change his life.
Marcus Garvey's reading of Booker T. Washington's Up From Slavery was an eye-opener to him and pointed the way to his conclusion, which remained with him throughout his life, that the situation facing black people was a global one.
I was determined that the black man would not continue to be kicked about as I had seen in Central America and as I had read of it in America.
And that's the reason why he would have not tried to impress his woman by trying to flaunt a love relationship by two freaking Greeks or two Romans in her face. Now let's listen to this bullshit and see if you don't feel the same way I do. It just doesn't add up. That's why you got to always pay attention to what you're listening to and see it with your third eye and eradicate all of the sublime bullshit. Marcus Garvey would have never praised no love relationship of no Europeans. He would have said something totally foul about any black person who came, melanated person that came to him suggesting that they build a relationship off of ritualization of Europeans. His whole thing was separation from Europeans. That's what his whole plight was about.
Where is the black man's government? Where is his king and his kingdom? Where is his president, his country, his men of big affairs? I could not find them. And then I declared, I will help to make them. My brain was afire.
As he sailed for home, Garvey's grand vision for himself and for the world clicked into place. He would unify black people scattered across the globe, and he would be their leader. Back in Kingston, he attended a debate and noticed an attractive 17-year-old named Amy Ashwood. When Ashwood took to the stage and delivered a powerful political speech, Garvey knew he had found a kindred spirit.
Now, did you hear what they said? Did you hear what that narrator said? He said when she took to the stage and delivered a powerful political speech. Now, look at this woman's facial features. I ain't got to tell you, this is one of those gangster, thug, I will cut your throat white ladies that is black ladies that is intelligent. Even though she's done had somebody grab a hold of her in there and lighten her up a tad bit, you can look at the seriousness of her face and see that she knew that she was a straight up melanated woman and that she didn't want to have no type of bullshit with any type of avenue or any type of walk other than that. Otherwise, her political conversation would not have been nowhere where Marcus Garvey would have been sitting around hearing it. They were somewhere at the gathering, function together, which means that she was on one accord. They was on the same page with each other. And you can look at her seriousness right there, and you know damn well that he didn't step to her with no weak ass. I'm your Alexander, okay? I'm your Napoleon, and you my Antoinette, or I'm no Romeo, no Juliet shit. That did not go down. That's just Hollywood. We all know that. What would I look like stepping to some Nubian sister that I see somewhere? Because I know I'm going to pick her because she got braids in her hair, if anything, or because she wearing natural hair, all right? And then I'm going to step to her telling her how beautiful she is and that she freaking look like, what's the girl, Pamela Anderson or something? What kind of stupid shit is that? If I want to give a woman a Pamela Anderson freaking compliment, I need to go find a woman that has facial characteristic as Pamela Anderson. See, this is the type of shit that keep black people confused. Us melanated people is always bombarded with this. Keep your eye open for it.
He approached her later that evening as they rode home on a trolley. At last I have met the star of my destiny, Garvey exclaimed.
Her parents were very opposed to it, particularly her mother, who was trying to keep her away from Garvey because Garvey didn't seem to have a solid income or be the type of person that she wanted her daughter dating.
Well, you know that she didn't say, well, she didn't want her white daughter with a black man. So we know that that woman was black. So I'm just proving my point to you, okay?
But Garvey was a great romantic. And he announced to Ashwood that she was his Josephine.
And she says, if you are my Napoleon, and they make a pledge that they would remain together and forge what would become the Universal Negro Improvement Association. And they launch...
Yeah, see? Negro Improvement Association, but they start their love affair off her, you see what I'm saying, patronizing two white people. Or mimicking the love relationship between two white people. What, they couldn't find no people suited in their own skin complexions to mimic a love relationship off of? Or is this just a trick of America to take two great people, a unit of black awareness, and just saturate it with bow down to this great white couple, and let's try to build up something that's uniquely unique, like something the great white people had. See, this is the type of bullshit I could just vomit all the time, and I don't say this to be rude and nasty. I say this because it's everywhere, constantly, all the freaking time, all the time. And if everybody on the planet, I mean melanated people as well as melanin recessive people, as well as the aliens that's flying around on this planet all the time, if we all don't start paying attention to this stuff and try to eradicate it, this is nothing but another method of brainwashing dichotomization, where you make one person seem so highly sophisticated and supreme over another one, as to where we used to beg you to force you to let us eat in a restaurant with you. After, before we was begging you to let us eat in a restaurant with you, you was hanging us, beating us, spitting on us, calling us niggas, all that. Does that make sense? Hell no. We would have been really, really fast running another way to find our own little sectors where we can eat without worrying about one of y'all asses coming in there trying to make us work all freaking day or beating the shit out of us. So this is the type of stuff that need to stop being implemented as brainwash techniques to make white people seem so always superior and always necessary for black people to be searching them down trying to find a way to fit into their dynamics. That needs to stop.
ship together in August of 1914.
With the motto, one God, one aim, one destiny, the Universal Negro Improvement Association stressed race pride and sought backers for an industrial training school,
That's the
modeled
reason
on
why.
Booker T. Washington's Tuskegee Institute.
That's right. You see?
Garvey and Ashwood...
You see what they modeled it off of? A black man, not freaking the president, not Abraham, none of that. Not like some sellout black man would have did. You want to find a sellout black man, they'll always have something right away that glamorizes a white man. You find a black man with a church that's worshiping a white man as God, you better believe he is a nigga for the white man, getting paid. That's by the white man, that's all to it. That's all to it.
attracted a small, loyal following, but there was trouble from the beginning. Garvey created enemies by attacking established leaders. He wouldn't tolerate the slightest dissent from UNI.
See, listen. Let's get at that. He did not establish enemies by that action. His action was his retaliation to established enemies' activities. Okay?
Members, and he was a disastrous money manager, using contributions to the school to pay for his own living expenses. When his few supporters clamored for an accounting, 29-year-old Garvey decided to leave town. He hired himself out on the crew of the SS Talek, and in the spring of 1916, he left Amy Ashwood behind and set sail alone for New York City. His ideas had failed in Jamaica, but they would find new life in America.
That was nice. That was sweet. The little leaf floating on the water, it was so natural, but it showed you the purpose of a natural boat.
When Garvey comes
That's
to
what
the
you should
United
have saw with
States,
your third eye.
Harley is a
A
throbbing,
naturally made boat.
bubbling, exciting
Imagine if you was a little
place.
ant.
These are fantastic.
Let me break it down to you. See, this is the way African science go. When you see a leaf floating on the water like that, your mind's just like, you know, if I was an ant, I could float on that leaf and just go all over anywhere I wanted to. But then you would say, as a man, how can I get a leaf that big? And then your brain would say, it's real simple. What is a leaf made of? And then you say, well, when the leaf breaks down, it turns into soil. And then that soil is what's used for a tree to grow. They say, well, maybe you could use soil in a tree to make a leaf that you could float on. You're like, what the hell is it? Yes, you can do it. You can get a bunch of wood and actually cake them all together, tie it with rope, put holes in them, pull them together with real strong twine, put mud in the gaps in the boat. Make it out of everything natural. Everything natural. I'm sure they had all kind of fish oils, snake skin. They probably wrapped some type of natural skin from nature under the bottom of their boats, whatever. I'm sure it was all natural. That's what I mean. That leaf showed you a perfect diagram of how to make a perfect boat where you did not have to destroy the ecosystem. You did not need no diesel engine, burning oil, and all that old shit. We did it for years and years and years just using wind and sails. The only person who will invent engines and all that other shit to do the things they got done on this earth is people that are motivated and repulsed by greed. Kind of like the people you're looking at right now. I mean, that's what I think. You can make your own determination.
Fantastic buildings, apartments, the street life is abundant. This is a fast-moving and a very affluent world.
No, it's not affluent.
And it's a whole new world.
No, it's not. You know what it is? It's Satan. It's Satan's world. It is this holographic world that we live in right now that is so tarnished and so polluted and has brought nothing but decadence about. So don't lie and try to make it all glorious Western world. What it is decadence. That's all it is.
Garvey quickly found lodging with a Jamaican family in Harlem and got a job as a printer.
All this should be
He
trees,
was not a wealthy
lakes,
person. far from
fish,
it.
bumblebees,
In a
birds.
sort of a hall, little hall bedroom, the kind of bedroom that was very popular in Harlem in those days. So he was in pretty poor financial shape.
Of course you were. Let me show you why. Do you see these building structures right here? They don't regenerate themselves. You say, well, what do you mean they don't regenerate themselves? Well, they don't grow fruit. Okay, there's not a lake here where ducks can come in and lay eggs that hatch. And what was 2 ducks over this 3-month period turned into 8 ducks. And they all can fly away. No, because see, the people that live in these buildings will eat